Good day, everyone. Welcome to Sisters Keeper podcast. I am Dr. C, your host. This is a show where we talk about issues that are germane to women, different things that women need to navigate through or sometimes find themselves navigating through during the course of their life's journey. And today we're going to talk about how to navigate through being a single parent. And today I have the honor of interviewing Miss Breana. She is here with us. Welcome, Breana. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. And so we're going to be talking about single parenthood. We know that for both women and men may fall into this life circumstance, this lifestyle for themselves and their children. It could be something that's planned. It could be something that's unexpected. So we're going to find out a little bit from you how you manage being a single mother. So tell us, how many children do you have and what are their ages?
I only have one right now. My daughter is 3 years old. She's gonna be 4 next week.
Oh, awesome. So she has a birthday coming up. Okay, very
Yeah,
good. And what is her name?
Josephine Marie.
Josephine Marie. Okay,
hmm
awesome. Now, my next question is, at the time that you gave birth to your daughter, were you in a relationship with her father?
Yes, we were uh together at the time. Yes.
Okay. And so since now that you are a single parent, tell me what situation occurred in your life that led you to be a single parent since you were in a relationship at the time that you gave birth to her.
Um. So after we were together for a year. After I think it was on 4th of July, I actually got into it with his dad because there's fireworks everywhere, and they had those Roman candles, shooting each other, and
Hmm.
boys are boys, so they'll shoot each other with those things. Well, he took her out there, and I was in full protective mode, and I yelled at him and I told him, "Don't you dare take my daughter out there. I don't want her getting hurt." And he blew up on me, and my daughter's father did not say anything. He just stood there. If anything, he defended his dad. And that was just it. I was like, no, you know what? If you can't see that your daughter could be in danger and you're getting mad that I'm trying to protect her and advocate for her, then this is just not it. And we've always had a very struggled relationship. We would argue a lot.
Hmm.
There was no like he just wasn't a family oriented person once my daughter was born. So he would just do his own thing, and I just didn't want that cuz while we were together, I was a single parent with him. So it just
Oh,
wasn't something I wanted my daughter to be around.
okay. It's interesting that you say what basically led to your decision was not necessarily something that occurred between the two of you, but occurred between a family member.
Mhm.
But he was there, and of course he could have spoken up. So that's very interesting. But things have a way of working out however they work out for whatever reason. So
Yeah.
you said the relationship wasn't very strong. There were already situations going on, and this was basically the tip of the iceberg or the icing on the cake
Oh
or
yeah.
the straw that broke the camel's back or whatever, right?
Most definitely, yes.
Okay, so you had to make a decision based on your daughter's livelihood and the safety of your daughter and the best interest of your daughter.
Mhm. Most
Okay.
definitely.
All right, very good. Now that so how long ago, or should I say, how old was your daughter at that time when you made that decision?
She had just turned 1.
She had just turned 1 and she's now about to turn 4.
Yes.
So that was 3 years ago.
Mhm.
Okay. So in that 3-year period, how do you see your decision to parent your daughter alone impact your daughter's life?
I noticed it was really hard, um, not just for her, but for also me, but only because it was a lot more overwhelming because little things that I was getting help from him,
Mhm.
I had to do it all on my own.
Okay.
So it I noticed her, she does like ask for him all the time, and she does, cry when she doesn't get to see him. Which I noticed it's almost kind of like a double-edged sword, because sometimes she's perfect and she's having the time of her life, but then when her dad is brought up in her mind or brought up in any conversations, then she's sad again and she misses him and she wants to be with him. So it is, like I said, a double-edged sword. So it I feel bad, but I know that this is what was best for us, and she's doing so much better than when she was at that house with him.
Okay. So let me backtrack a little bit. So you
Mhm.
said he wasn't very family oriented from the beginning.
Mhm. Mhm.
So tell me, how was your relationship, or how was their relationship from in that first year? Did she see quite a bit of him where she could really become attached, and then she had to be disconnected from him a little bit? Kind of explain how that worked over these 4 years of her life.
So before my daughter was born, I was living with him. I moved in with him up until she turned 1, and we broke up. I moved back in with my parents. So in that first year of her life, she saw him every day. Um, she was very attached to him. He not so much. Kind of like he would give her attention, but not as much as like I would. I would give her my full undivided attention. His was more of like, "Oh, hey, oh, that's so cute," and then go on his phone or do something else.
Okay.
So, she craved a lot of his attention, and you could tell I noticed it very early on. She craved his attention, and she would do things for him to notice her and really, like, look, um, which made me feel really bad because that's not what I want for her either. Um, Now that she lives with me and we don't see him as much, um, she when she does see him, she does do the same thing. She's just wanting to see, like, have him notice her, even though they'll be in the same room together, but she still does it. She wants him to notice, and she kind of like then eventually she gives up and she gets tired and she's like, I don't want to be here anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's now old enough to notice his reactions to her.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and that's probably going to be something you have to deal with later, the older she gets as a girl.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that you guys have been separated for 3 years, you have to have scheduled meetings with him, or times that he picks her up, or how does it work now?
In the beginning I did. Now we don't, but um he would always like flake on us, and he would always say, "Oh no, I'll do it another day or I'll do it next weekend," because it was always just a weekend. 3
Mhm.
days out of the week. That So he has his days off with her and
Mhm.
have his full undivided attention. That was like the main thing. But because he kept doing it and I was the one who was always telling him, okay, like you're gonna have her this day. What time do you want to pick her up? But I noticed he wasn't really trying to go out of his way to try to see her. So I slowly stepped back, and then eventually he just never really asked for her.
Oh, wow.
Um, yeah.
Basically,
So
only if you initiated it.
yeah, exactly. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to, if you didn't want to be in her life, I'm not going to force you. That was my mindset. Um, Now he doesn't, he'll ask about her maybe like every 2 weeks or so.
Mhm.
Um, his mom is actually the one who sees her a lot more, at least 2, 3 times a week. And that's his way of trying to see her,
Okay.
because he'll go and visit her there, but for like 2 hours, 2, 3 hours, and then he's like, all right, I gotta go home now.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but at least she's engaging with her grandmother.
Oh yeah. Loves her. That's like her best friend besides me.
That's that's really good. That's good.
Yes.
Okay. Now, This is a really important question because this is something that comes up when you have exes, and children with exes. Do you allow any negative feelings or perceptions regarding your ex infiltrate your child's relationship with her father?
I do not, because I know that my feelings, if I say anything negative about him or anything, she gets very defensive towards him. Um and I don't want my feelings to determine her relationship with him, because eventually she's going to see it all. And right now, she's very smart, very aware of everything. So she already knows how her dad is. And I feel like she kind of already has a feeling of how their relationship is going to be. um, so I'd rather her just figure it out and do it on her own time than
Mhm.
have anybody like talk negative about him and decide it for her, because I anybody talks bad about him, I nip it in the bud real fast. My parents, my family, anybody, friends, I don't like it, because that's that's not my place to put things in her mind nor theirs. So,
Right. And that's good because it's really important because as children get older and they become more self-aware and they become more aware of the world at large, they will begin to figure things out. Right now, she can't fully conceptualize everything, but she's picking up things. And the
yeah.
older she gets and the more her mind develops, she will definitely continue to do that. So it's really good that you have that mindset because sometimes people are so hurt they don't really stop and think about what am I saying, who's listening, how does this impact my child, and the child tends to carry the feelings of the parent, and sometimes it could just be hurt feelings that's making them act the way that they act, and then the parent
Mhm.
may eventually get over those bad feelings, but the child is still left with those memories and they don't
Yes.
know how to process those memories, and they begin to take on perceptions that may or may not be real when they should be able to, like you said, determine it for themselves, figure it out for themselves as they grow and as they forge that relationship with that parent. So that's really good that you're doing that and just staying neutral. And when he wants to see her, great. If he's not making the effort, okay, she'll begin to see all those patterns too. And then hopefully, as she's growing, he will be growing too and
Yeah.
understand that he needs to be there for his daughter and how much she as a little girl that's going to grow into a teenager that's going to grow into a young woman will really really need him to be there in her life as a positive influence, to show her
Mhm.
the ways of the world and how to interact with men as she gets older. But that's really good that you have that mindset because that's only going to be positive for her.
Thank you.
Now, as you're going through this for these 4 years, and even during the pregnancy and having the relationship with him, and then making the decision to end the relationship, what women have been there surrounding you in your life that's giving you support throughout this journey?
Oh, a lot. Honestly, a lot. I feel like I couldn't do it without them. It was my mom, his mom, and his stepmom. Um, it was also my aunts as well. They
Okay.
helped me a lot too, but it was mostly them. They really helped out because they were there. My mom was a single mom too before she met my dad.
Hmm.
Um, his mom was a single mom too, and the stepmom too. So I mean, these women, they've been in my shoes. Um, they might not have battled the same battles I had fought, but for the most part, they did. And without them, I don't know what I would do. I probably go crazy
But
because
that's good to have
they
that
helped.
support system.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when they've been down the journey too. Even if they hadn't been, but especially that they have been,
Mhm.
that's so much more helpful for you. And that's really good. And I'm so thankful that you do have those women in your life. And your daughter does too.
Oh yes. Thank you.
Okay. Now, what advice, if this video is going to be broadcasted on YouTube, and there's going to be people from different walks of life viewing it. What advice would you give to any other young woman who may find herself in the same situation?
I think the first thing that I would say with all my heart is ask for help. I am one that I've never really wanted to go out and tell people my business or anything, but the moment I left, I was very lost. I couldn't find myself. I lost myself as a person and was trying to figure it out as a single mom. So I went to therapy and it helped me the most because once I figured out that hey, it's not just me anymore. I have a whole village like backing me up.
Mhm.
I know that I can do this. And it's okay that you might not find your like person when it comes to the therapist, but trust me, they're out there because I found mine and I will thank him for the rest of my life because he really, really helped me. And it's okay to also have men therapists too, because I
Absolutely.
only ever had women. And I feel like because I said, hey, let me just have a man therapist just to give me one, it was the best decision. He really helped me find myself and move past all the past trauma I had with my relationship. So that's and I really advocated for it because it also helped with my postpartum too.
Okay, good. So that was another situation you had compounding what was already going on.
Yes, exactly. It really,
Okay.
really sucked.
Oh, okay. Sorry to hear that, but I'm glad you're on the other side of that now.
Yep.
And thank you so much for your candid responses, and especially the last comment about the therapist and just asking for help in general. Because sometimes as women, we are taught to be strong, we're taught to be
Yeah.
independent, we're taught to stand on our own feet. But the Lord did not create us to live alone or be alone. He gave us other people. You know, He gave us family, He gave us friends to
Mhm.
surround ourselves with. And sometimes we don't want to let people know what we're going through or that we're having a hard time as we're going through it. You know, we're taught to put a smile on our face and comb your hair and put your makeup on and, you know, and be ready to go and be prepared for the world. But sometimes the world comes crashing down on us, and we really do need one another. And that is the very purpose of this podcast, Sisters Keeper. Who are the sisters that are keeping you? Who are the women that are surrounding you, that's keeping you sane, that's keeping
Mhm.
you at peace, that's keeping you whole, that's keeping you together, and that's walking with you and, you know, giving support to one another. So thank you so much for letting us know that we don't have to have all the answers. We may not always be strong, but in each other we can find strength, and we can mount up with that strength, and we can be the mothers that God has called us to be, because we're going to be those examples for those little girls, because your little
Exactly,
girl is
yes.
watching you, and you're going to be her primary example along with the other women in her life, her grandmothers. But because she's with you every day, she's going to be looking at you and watching you. And so we want to make sure that she gets the best model that she can possibly get. And we're going to be praying for her father as well, that he will come around and understand that he has a child who desperately needs him, whether she really fully knows it or not. But we hope that he comes to the realization and understanding that she needs him in her life. She needs that strong male figure in her life. So we will be praying for him as well. Are there any parting words that you want to share with the audience before you go?
No, I think that's it. If anything, I just appreciate being on here for the
Okay.
invite, everything.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for accepting the invitation. And I thank you for your words of wisdom and just sharing your experience with us. It means a lot. And I'm pretty sure you said something that's going to change somebody's life and that's going to be eye opening to them. So thank you so much, Miss Brianna. You take care of yourself. And I look forward to talking to you soon.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye bye. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have completed another podcast episode of Sisters Keeper. I pray that you were blessed and your life will be greatly enriched. And if you know someone who is a single parent, actually male or female, but especially a woman who is walking through the journey of single motherhood, please share this episode and all others with her. And I pray that you would be blessed and that you would join me right here for another episode of Sisters Keeper Podcast. I'm Dr. C. I'm your host, and I'm signing off. God bless you.